Told you, I said all the people of Limpopo, please stand up because
Yes,
I got your girl in the building.
Limpopo in the house.
Limpopo in the house, representing. So your girl Mahlako Mahapa, she's here. She's here to chat to us, and she's doing amazing things. So she is a PhD candidate in sociology at Wits. She holds a bachelor's in social sciences from UCT. She majored in gender development and media studies and industrial sociology. So once I saw that, I was like, yo, this girl and I must be, she's my underage BFF. Because I'm just interested in what she's studied. Okay, she's really done amazing things, and then we had to talk about her, part of her work. She founded Phly Strategic Solutions, a socially conscious research consultancy that specializes in research, technical services, and monitoring and evaluation. They provide technical services for various companies to enhance their research capacity, social investment strategies, and to assist in ensuring that their programs are managed efficiently with maximum return for investment. I mean, if I was to go through her CV, it was just gonna take too long, but she's here to tell us. So a lot of people look at like, okay, we have a lot of all these mining companies talking a lot of money, and they're doing a lot of supposedly impactful initiatives in communities, but for years and years we're like, what are they doing really? What are some of the things that you've come to discover in those spaces? What are the real issues on the ground?
From my professional experience and being in mining, I discovered why then these white companies get away with so much. Yeah. Because on the ground, a lot of the people, they don't know their rights. Yeah. And they don't know what mining houses or whatever corporates owe them or what the mining charter gives to them. Yeah. And then at the top, if you've got a mining house that doesn't really care, they can get it. Yeah. And you've got a government without capacity to track every mine, then that's how you end up having a mining house, and you hear that, oh, this particular mining company only gives one bursary and they have 500,000 tons a month. Yeah. So there's this one of my clients which I absolutely love, because they allow the company to be very experiential with their brand. It's called Arashumeng, and they have this colliery called Mochao Chile in Mpumalanga, and really also because they're black. Yeah, I think that's the thing. Yeah, and it's two brothers, Joey and Jack Masekwameng, that grew up in Soweto. Yeah, and really they built this entire company from the ground level up. Similar background. They're so passionate about giving back. And they, what my company does is we campaign for these boundaries to fall down because we care. Do you understand what I'm saying? We go the extra way because we care. We educate the young people in the community what is due to them. Yeah. And when I'll give you an example of this particular operation. During COVID, with them, Gift of the Givers and other partners, we literally fed about 5,000 families. We've got a program in Mpumalanga where we have kids that we give extra maths and science learners to, like 200 children. Yeah. Last year we managed to apply for university for about 200 kids and give them application fees and so on. So those are the type of we've created an ecosystem of social investment, basically, from managing your money to putting it on the ground, to being accountable for it, to finding the service providers. So when we find a marriage that works, we do wonderful things with those companies. And all those, interventions are definitely able to change the lives of ordinary people on the ground. But I'm sure you not only work with those companies, you also engage government, because it's very important for government to be visible on the ground, so those companies are held accountable. How is that relationship working? So one of the most amazing milestones, when I was 26, I was headhunted by Deputy Minister of Justice and Correctional Services, Thabang Makwetla, to serve as a special advisor in government. And I was young and highly overwhelmed. But it was an amazing opportunity because he gave me a seat at the table. And if you sit at the table at such a high level of special advisor, and you're young and you're so passionate and you have this black passion, you learn very closely how government works and how this bureaucracy works, and where then the stifling blocks are. Yeah. Because then you're directly involved. You're sitting with anybody that you want to sit on the table. You are put there to keep those people accountable. That are older than you, that are whatever than you, but you have a seat at the table. So through that knowledge and that extensive understanding of how parliament works, of how government works, constantly following up legislation, knowing how legislation passed, understanding those challenges. So when you understand them at the high level, and you also understand them at the ground, because on a daily basis, udila community, then, and you're dealing with corporate, you understand their challenges, then you have a medley where you create a system that just works.
All right, we're gonna take a quick musical break, and then we come back. Okay, I'm playing one of your favorite people, Yanga Yaya.
Yes. Love him so much.
All right, that song is called Your Type. It's 16:24 right here on Massive Metro. I'm chatting this afternoon, of course, with Mahlako Mahapa. She's my guest. Looking yummy at her 30th. It was her 30th, guys. So, so people always ask me, what's the secret to like looking good and staying young? Is hanging out with good-looking people who are younger.
We keep you young.
I also have people who I keep young.
Yes.
So you are my version for myself. Like I keep the 50-year-olds young, so you keep me young.
Yeah, but you also keep us responsible.
Of course.
Like pee.
Okay, so you know, you the work that you do is really, I just like how you connect with communities, but it's at the same time it's very impactful. You know, when you do work that impact communities, people always think like, oh, it's just gonna be like charity here, you know, let's hand out this over here and hand out over there. One of the programs that you guys do, it's the mathematics and science class. Okay, so tell us about that.
So we have this program called Wise Up Maths and Science. So now I did maths literacy. Let's just get that out. So because I hated numbers.
Yeah.
But through working in mining, you learn the importance of certain subjects like maths and science. And I got exposed to amazing people that then run or that are subject matter experts, and they had this passion for maths and science and how it should be taught. And even I started understanding maths, and I was just like, Kanti, maths is not so difficult. And there's a lot of research across the world, because I'm a researcher, that shows that once you can get children or learners to be comfortable with maths and science because of the difficulty of perception, you give them the confidence and they perform so much better, not only maths and science but in other subjects also. So that's how this project then started. It works purely in township and rural areas. That's where I do my work. And we have these Saturday lessons for these kids where we teach them the language of maths, but most importantly, it's a teacher intervention program, actually, more than it's a learner intervention program, because I find it problematic that we have these maths projects that bring someone from Centon to come teach this maths. So this one, we educate the teachers on how to teach maths. And through the learners that we have in our program, we teach them how to teach maths and science, so that when they take it back to the classroom, even those learners can learn. Because we're trying to make a very long-term change. So if Penny is a teacher, and Penny now knows how to teach maths and science effectively because we've got experts that taught Penny. Then Penny goes back in the classroom and teaches other children how to do better. But most importantly, if you look at the research, in these types of areas, we've only got a 7 to 10% retention rate of learners that go from high school into university. So we really wanted to change that. So it's very turnkey. We do extra maths and science. We do career guidance and career days for them. We do career tours for them. We expose them to as many companies as we can. We help them apply for university and help them get funding, and we also mentor them through the university process. So at the end of it, you can actually say that the impact long term of my project is that I've got 10 radio producers, I've got 5 mine managers and so on that came through our program.
Awesome stuff. So this is what we're going to do now. We're going to take a quick break. We come back and we're going to be giving you an update of what's going on the roads. I will also give you an update in the world of sports, because you know how I go. You don't want to be that girl that can't have a conversation about sport, guys. At least you need to know what's going on. You know, something. You must have something to offer. Here on Massive Metro with me, Penny. Yes, own your throne. I am a queen. That's Miss Boity there. You know, Mahlako just told me that she loves the song. Okay, and she says it pumps her up before she goes into big meetings.
You must try it. You must try it. Because look at my industry.
Yeah.
I enter rooms with mostly just men.
Yeah.
And old men also. And here's is young looking, because I also look like I'm 22.
Yeah.
Coming in, and I have quite a mouth on me.
Yes,
most
you do.
times
Yes.
I'm going in there to trash them.
Yeah.
So, you need that pump up confidence to be like, I got this.
Yeah.
I can do it.
So it's a very interesting world, because we always talk about women and the glass ceiling, but now in your case we're also talking about being a young woman who got her papers, and you can back it up, whatever you're bringing to the table, but you're speaking a different language, and you're saying to them you're doing things that are impacting people now, and you guys are living in a different world. Let's go. How do you navigate that?
Safala, actually, one of the reasons we started is we wanted to really promote and show how meaningful participation is. So when I was still in government, I used to fight with the people all the time, because I lived in prisons.
Yeah.
I was in correctional services. I would rather go to prison and spend time with them and understand what's happening in prison than sit in my office there at the top floor and just read.
Yeah.
So when I discovered a lot that at the bottom level, we have this thing where we say government government has a lot of people that don't have the skills. We just don't have systems to understand what's on the ground. I literally started like classes. I started like research classes, because these people were studying through UNISA, and unlike me, when you're an academic, something as difficult as how to formulate a research question. And I started just hosting classes, and it did something amazing for them. Like I'm saying, a seat at the table, that we can just knock on the 8th floor of the minister's office and, hey, can I see Mahlako, I'm having struggles with this. So that's actually how I navigate around it, because I have some sort of seat at the top, and I have some sort of understanding at the top. In correctional services, we happened to have an MOU with UNISA at the time, which wanted to promote this exact thing. But on the ground, they knew nothing about it. They were just like, what do you mean? I'm like, you can get funding support, you can get this, you can get this. And because then you can look at my profile and think that, and I'm so accessible on the ground that I understand the ground fully. And
the value chain of how it all works, because that's ultimately that's what it is. Because what we don't want is the suited people sitting up there at the top having no understanding what's happening at the bottom, or people at the bottom not understanding what the chain to get up there is and what it involves. Okay, so outside of all the serious stuff, you're a member of Junk Park?
You got to bring Junk Park into this.
What is Junk Park and who's in Junk Park, guys? This is the clique that I want to be part of. Okay, guys, I never care about cliques, but like this one, I want to be in.
Junk Park, there's this very interesting friend of mine called Trevor.
Steerman.
And he's always making fun of me, because like I do all of these things, like I have to do a thesis, I have to run this, but I really like a good time. On the weekend I'm just like, I want to be out. So
Mahlako is a girl who will be on stage with Boiti dancing and recording the video from backstage. And tomorrow she's writing for her thesis. I'm like, what the?
I have a board meeting the next day. Junk Park is basically Boiti, Clarks, Bradley, a friend of mine, Bradley Ndlovu, Bash is Boiti's manager. And we just like grooving. I mean, they're working. Right? So meaning they're constantly groovers.
So you're just taking it.
Bradley and I like grooving.
You're just taking it along.
It's a good time. Hit us up. Junk Park, we're on, the takeoff.
The takeoff. I think I like that. I enjoy young people who, as immersed they are in their careers, whatever it is, who don't cheat themselves of being a young person. I relate to being a young person in an adult world and refusing to act like an adult, because I'm like, no. I'm like, no, I'm young and I'm pretty and I'm gonna have a good time. They're like, no, but you must be. I'm like, no. That was me in my 20s. I was like that. I was rebelling. I was like, no ways. I mean, yes, I can talk about this serious conversation, but come party time, I'm gone.
We rock.
As we call it. That's how it is. Okay, so what do you get up to if you're not doing all these amazing work and your party? I mean, what drives you? What are the things that interest you?
Sure, a lot. So I like finding myself. I mean, you can see from what I do. I mean, I write about women in sex work. Mm-hmm. I've worked with prisoners, so I really like sitting in spaces that live outside the margin of what society deems as normal.
Yeah.
So I am what they call an ethnographer, which is a participant observer. So I spend a lot of time in those types of secluded
like a
spaces.
fly in a wall type of thing.
Yes, and I observe and I get to understand society. So outside that, I love just sitting at restaurants or funny spaces, watching people. I love dining out a lot. I'm always dining out. My friends know. Like I'm that first one to when I get into that restaurant. I read quite a bit. I'm quite a nerd, guys. Outside everything, I'm quite nerdy.
So let's talk a Win Africa month now. And, we're going through COVID and our country's going through all sorts of things. And, you're observing, you're reading, you have all sorts of ideas. You sit in certain tables. What will it take for a lot of young people? They're like, okay, I got this degree, I've done that. What is it that's going to take to get us to, where we need to get as a country? What are your thoughts on that?
It's interesting you asked me that. One of the projects that I work on, I mean, quite some time, is with one of my mentors. I love him so much. His name is Mungane Serote, and he is what we call, I don't know how to pronounce this, the poet laureate.
The poet laureate of the country. Yes,
he's the poet laureate of the country, and he started Freedom Park in Pretoria. So he's got this NGO called IARI that I co-wrote sort of the concept document with him, and we just had a meeting last week, and he asked me this exact question to say, I've got a dilemma. And I said, Prof, what's your dilemma? He says, I'm in my 70s. What is it going to take for the country to go where it needs to be? And my answer to him was simple. I said, when you leave me at this restaurant, you are going to sit on the table 70-year-old as you are, and you're going to leave me at the back table. And I said to him, the only way that we're going to get to where we need to go as a country, because I research a lot, is to pull me with you. If you look at,
don't leave a gap. There must not be a disconnect.
Don't leave me behind. If you look at new economies, you look at even the contentious one now, Israel and Palestine, the economies are booming. And if you look at it, they're led by young people. But in South Africa, we remain where we are because young people don't have a seat at the table. So that's why I keep telling that my thing is open that seat. I know that I can sit with that mine owner and you come to me, open that seat. And I think in Africa, man, that's exactly what we need to celebrate. We need to acknowledge that we have the skills in the country. We have vibrant young people like myself, like yourself, like so many that we don't know. And we just need to keep shouting and keep demanding that seat on the table.
Guys, and we're making new tables, by the way. We're creating.
Give me a seat.
We're creating new tables. Tlax, I can talk to you all day because I look up to you. I really do. I have great admiration and great respect for you. You're the young people that we deserve as a country. And I think that 10 of you, 20 of you, the more of you we get, the better. And we all learn from each other. So I'm looking forward to seeing you do more amazing things. If you ever decide to run for president, I'll be your campaign manager.
Definitely. Campaign manager, spokesperson.
Everything. That's it. We're done. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Just Tlax on Instagram. You're not on Twitter.
No, not really. I'm not active.
Yeah, she's not active on Twitter. But you can stay in touch. And then the website for Sefala?
www.sefala.com.
So Sefala isn't like what, an open space?
Sefala it's my totem. So Sefala is a sift, so that when you're grazing and you sift the soil so that you're left with the fertile ground. Yes. So we fertilize the ground for growth.
Fertilizing the ground for growth. There you have it, guys. We're back with more after this.